I was never just a mother who cooked meals and ironed uniforms. I was the kind of woman who buried her own dreams so that her children's dreams could fly. I once dreamed of becoming a writer, of putting my words into books that could outlive me. But when life placed 3 little souls in my hands, I closed the book of my own life and opened theirs instead. When my husband left Uzi, he walked away when the children were still in school, made a decision. I sold the house my parents had given me, the house full of memories, and moved to a smaller place. Every coin went into their education, into keeping them in the kind of schools where they could stand shoulder to shoulder with the rich and privileged. I stitched clothes at night, took cleaning jobs in the morning, and walked to save the bus fare. Sometimes, my dinner was nothing more than a cup of tea and stale bread, but they never slept hungry. When winter came, I gave them my coat, pretending I didn't need it. This wasn't just motherhood, it was sacrifice carved into my skin, etched into every wrinkle on my face. I thought, surely, when they grow, they will remember. Surely, they will hold my hand when I can no longer stand tall. But life has its cruel way of showing you that the love you pour out isn't always poured back in. The first time it stung was on my 50th birthday. I sat at the table, waiting, thinking maybe they'd surprise me. But when the phone rang, it wasn't them, it was a neighbor. My children were too busy. One was at a party, the other traveling. The youngest said he forgot, as if the womb that carried him could ever forget. Days turned into months, and slowly I became invisible in their lives. Calls were short, visits rare, and when they did visit, it felt like a duty, not love. They scrolled their phones as I tried to speak. They cut me off with sighs, as if my words wasted their time. And then one evening, the dagger fell. My eldest son said it openly. "We don't owe you anything, Mother. You chose your life. Don't expect us to carry your burdens." His words shattered me, not because they were cruel, but because they were spoken without a flicker of shame. My daughters nodded silently, their silence sharper than knives. I had given them more than any mother could, and yet I was now nothing more than a shadow in my own children's eyes. Loneliness is heavier than hunger. It presses on your chest at night when you want someone to ask, "Are you okay?" And no one does. I remember falling ill one winter. Fever shook my bones, but no one came. I dialed my son's number, but he said he was in a meeting. My daughter didn't pick up. The youngest left a text. "Take some medicine. You'll be fine." I lay there, trembling, staring at the ceiling. For a moment, I thought maybe this is how I'll die. Alone, forgotten, like a lamp burning out in an empty room. Neighbors, strangers, even old friends asked me if my children ever visited. I lied and smiled, saying, "They're busy." But they love me. Inside, I knew the truth. I was abandoned, not by life, but by the very people I gave my life to. Every tear I shed tasted of betrayal. Every silence from them screamed louder than thunder. I had become a burden, a ghost, a woman they once called mother. But life is never blind. It sees. It waits. And when the time is right, it strikes back. Years passed, and my children built their own families. I had little role in them, invited sometimes, ignored most of the time. But soon, the same cruelty they gave me began to return to them. My son, who once told me he owed me nothing, was abandoned by his own children. His wife left him, and his house felt colder than mine ever did. My eldest daughter, who once rolled her eyes at my stories, now begged for attention from children who scrolled their phones as she spoke. They came to me, broken, weeping, asking why life was so cruel. And I, their mother, held my silence. For once, I let silence speak the truth. What you give your parents, your children will give you back. I am 50 now, but my soul feels 100 years old. I have learned this. The deepest punishment is not one I give, but one life gives. And life never forgets. So, to anyone listening, love your parents while you still can. Because when you let pride and selfishness take over, life will carve the same wounds into your heart.